On this episode of the Massive Agent Podcast, I'm going to get a little ranty, a little rantastic, if you will. We're going to talk about why having success given to you is a bad idea. Why you want to earn it, why you want to work for it and get success rather than having it handed to you.
The Massive Agent Podcast, with lead generation tips and strategies to get you more leads and sell more homes.
I love to buy houses. I like to sell houses.
It takes brass balls to sell real estate.
Wait a minute.
The leads are weak. You're weak.
I've had better.
Oh, have I got your attention now?
Here's your host, Dustin Brohm.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 35 of the Massive Agent Podcast. I am Dustin Brohm, your host. I am a realtor in Salt Lake City, Utah with eXp Realty, the founder of Search Salt Lake and Salt Lake Insider. I'm also the founder of the Massive Agent Society. Find out more about that lead gen training system, our proprietary, that sounds so official, our exclusive proprietary Facebook ad lead gen training and support system that's called the Massive Agent Society, over at massiveagentsociety.com, and only one agent per market can join. Needless to say, all my EXP agents that join my EXP team do get membership to that for free, which is super cool, free lifetime membership. Anyways, let's get into the show. So there's this tone in this country, okay, and I'm not going to get political, but I'm going to talk about the, just like the underlying tones of what's going on in society, in our culture, in our media, in entertainment and everything. There's two different Americas being formed right now. Okay. And I promise I'm going to tie this back to business very, very soon in just a sec. But you'll notice there's this movement towards, we want free stuff. We want stuff given to us. We want free this, free that, free the other thing. And then there's this other kind of opposite movement, if you will, or it's not even a movement. They're just saying, hey, you're crazy over there. That doesn't make sense. We want to work for it. Let's have a meritocracy here. And so what I'm seeing is there's some agents out there and loan officers where they kind of just sit back and expect that business comes to them, that it's just going to be given to them, that it's going to fall in their lap. And then there's other agents that they go out and work for it. If they don't know how to run Facebook ads, they'll take that bull by the horns and learn it. They'll go buy a training course. They'll go hire a coach. They'll go join the Massive Agent Society. They'll go just Google and YouTube stuff. I mean, I learned Facebook ads by watching YouTube videos, by reading articles, and by doing it, by spending thousands of dollars with trial and error learning it. Okay. And the first, honestly, when I look back, even though I didn't think this at the time, but when I look back at my first 2 or 3 years in the business, I think I was sitting back waiting for business to come to me because I was going through the motions, but I wasn't thinking, okay, what's the best way to get clients? Do I need to chase them or do I need to attract them? To me, it was all the same. Like, I didn't even understand the distinction back then. It was just, how do I get business? How is it done? Oh, I have to go door knocking? Okay. Oh, I have to send some postcards and some letters, direct mail? Okay. I didn't know that there was anything else. But what's really unfortunate because I've been coaching agents for a few years now, and I've been doing some speaking and training events for agents over the last couple of years. And I'm noticing that I wouldn't say it's most agents, but there's a hell of a lot of them. There's way too many of them that they want the silver bullet. Like, they want to know what the secret is. They're like, hey, what one little tactic can I use that's going to bring me a flood of business all of a sudden? What is it? Like, what's that one thing? And I tell them all the time, there is no one thing. The one thing, if you want to take a step back and zoom out, if you will, the one thing is that you need to bust your ass doing something that's worth getting good at. That's the secret. That's the silver bullet. But they don't like that because it's not as simple as let's use this one hashtag on Instagram and that's going to rocket me to success. Or, if I just run this magical Facebook ad over here that takes me 10 minutes to learn and no more, that I'm going to be making $300,000 a year. There's so much delusion out there. There's so many people that I think a lot of it is entitlement. They keep hearing about free healthcare, free college education, forgiveness of my student loans, all this horse shit. And then that gets into their brain and they're like, yeah, I guess things should be easy. I have this entitlement. I'm entitled to to new business. I'm entitled to be a success as a real estate agent. I'll tell you what, I'll make you a little deal. If that's you and you feel that you're entitled to something in this life, in this business, I want you to double down on that. Okay, let's keep going down that road. I want you to keep doing that. Let's see how you're doing financially 2 or 3 years from now. Okay, let's see how that works out for you. And let me just fast forward for you and just give you a little preview of what to expect. Your starving to death is not going to have anything to do with life being unfair or income inequality or any other horse shit. It's going to be because you are a lazy sack of shit and didn't do the work required to be successful. That's it. Now, I want you to understand me. There are so many different ways that you can be successful. There are so many different ways that you can market yourself successfully to bring in new clients and to do it long term. All right. And to build a real lasting business. We've talked a lot about content marketing on previous episodes. This is not another episode on content marketing. It's more of a rant on just this thinking that somehow it's better to just have business handed to you. It's better to just sit back and have it come to you. All right, let me do this. I'm going to humor you for a minute and let's pretend for a second. Let's put on our imagination caps for a second and pretend that actually works, that you can just sit back and business is going to come to you without building a client attraction machine first. Let's just pretend, okay? If all of a sudden business starts coming to you, awesome. And it shows up and they're like, hey, we want to work with you. Oh, how'd you find me? I don't know. My phone just started dialing. Okay, let's say that works. Is that good? Is that a good way of running a business or building a life? Or is it better to work for something? Is it better to earn something? Here's the difference. If you're just handed clients, okay, let me put this a different way. The imagination, that was fun. I enjoyed that little playtime there for a minute. But let me put it a different way. Let's say you're a member of a team. You're a buyer's agent and you don't have to ever learn how to market. You just show up and leads are given to you. And your job is to call the leads and convert them and then go show them houses and close. That's it. That's fine. You can make a living. You can absolutely make a living. You can pay your bills. You could make a decent living for sure. What happens when those leads dry up? What happens when that team goes out of business or they have to let you go as a buyer's agent because the economy's shifted and they were doing all listings and now there are no listings, or they were doing all buyers and now there are very few buyers. You know what I mean? When the market changes, the team structure has to change. And all of a sudden, you're out on your own and you don't have a clue how to get your own clients. That's a problem. Whereas, had you just figured out how to start a blog, how to build a website, how to do some vlogging, how to effectively run Facebook ads, how to do Google AdWords, how to run ads on LinkedIn and Pinterest, for God's sakes. But you didn't learn any of that. Had you just, even though it's harder and it takes longer and costs you some money and some time to get to the point where you can get a steady flow of business, don't you think then with that perspective that it's better to not have business handed to you, that it's better to actually earn it? The reason being is you know how to do it. Nobody can take away your skill set. Nobody can take away your base of knowledge of how to get new business, of how to be a marketer and how to attract new clients. No one can take that away from you. So if you're a buyer's agent on a team and you don't know how to market, if the leads just pop up in your CRM and you're supposed to call them, that's cool. But you're doing yourself you're really at risk here because, like I said, when the economy changes, when the market shifts, if those leads ever dry up, or more likely, they become way too expensive for your team to keep buying and you don't have them anymore, you're screwed. You better start learning how to get your own clients right now. And I'll give you a couple analogies that I think you guys will understand and that will resonate with you. So if you're given something, let's say you're given a course, an online course on how to do YouTube ads or something. Okay. Let's say there's a course. And one course is free, another course is $1,000. Which one is better for you? Okay, and let me qualify that. Which one is better as far as keeping you engaged, holding you accountable, and making sure that you actually see it through to the end and then take action on what you've learned? Which one's more likely to do that? The free course or the $1,000 course when the course is exactly the same? Obviously, it's the one that you put $1,000 into. Whenever you get something for free, you don't value it as much. That's just a fact. It's a sad fact, maybe. I get whatever, but it's a fact. Something that you get for free, you do not value psychologically the same way as something you had to work to pay for. Something that you spend $1,000 on, you have skin in the game. If you put $1,000 into something like that, or you hired a coach and it cost you $1,000, let's say it cost you $10,000 for a coach, are you more or less likely to actually do what they say, what they recommend you do? Are you actually going to do the homework that they recommend you do? Are you actually going to follow the plan they give you versus if you had a coach do it for free? Obviously, if you have $10,000 into it, you take it seriously. You're going to actually do it. That's a big deal. So when you take the time to learn a new skill, to learn how to run YouTube ads, to do Google AdWords, to do Facebook ads, to do Instagram stories, build a website, whatever it is, if you learn that stuff on your own, you know it. If somebody just tells you how to do it and you've never actually done it yourself, or maybe it's done for you, you don't have a clue how to do it. So that's why I do my own content. I do my own websites. I know how to build, not start to finish, like I've hired certain parts out of building a website, but I have some WordPress websites that I know how to edit. I know how to change things around. I know how to mess with some of the design a little bit. And the reason being is then I have a base of knowledge that then I can go out and hire somebody to do certain aspects of that. But I know if they're any good or not. If you don't have a clue what you're doing, if you have no expertise on SEO, on graphic design, on content creation, on any of it, you don't have a clue if the person you're hiring is good or not. It's always better to work for something, to learn something for yourself. So then if you want to hire it out later, awesome. Then you know who's good and who's not, and who you should hire or avoid. I think you guys know exactly what I'm talking about here, but I know this has probably stepped on some toes. Look, I think, especially in society, when you hear all this crap in the media and in the Hollywood and everything about just free, hey, we deserve this, we deserve that, this is a right, this is a right. Well, when that thinking takes over, then you start thinking you don't have to work hard for stuff. Or you start thinking that working hard isn't worth it. Or, it's better to just like if you need to know the answer to something, rather than asking somebody and having them telling you, why don't you research it for yourself? Then you'll actually contextually know. Then you'll know the answer. You'll know what's going on rather than just like, hey, what's the answer to this? So if any of this is hitting home, if you think that I'm picking on you, if you think that I'm calling you out here, that's a clue then that some of this really needs to be addressed. You really need to take a look in the mirror and make some changes, because it's not healthy and it's not going to serve you long term in your business to continue like phoning it in and not working to understand certain things. I was asked just earlier today about, hey, how do I start getting traffic to my website? How do I start showing up in Google's search results? Well, there's a lot of work that's going to go into that. A lot of it. You're going to have to start building a base of content. You're going to have to start building backlinks at the same time. A backlink is when other websites link back to you. You're going to have to start getting your content shared on social, Facebook being the big one, and LinkedIn and, I guess Twitter, but no one really cares. But Pinterest is huge if you're a content creator, because on Pinterest, people keep pinning and you actually get more and more traffic as time goes on versus Facebook where it dies, right? So there's a lot of things that you need to learn. But once you do, then you know how stuff works. Then you can take over and say, okay, cool. I'll do this piece of content now, and you already know how it fits into the system. I'll do this piece of content. You already know how to optimize it and fit it into your system. But if you hired everything out, you wouldn't have a clue how to do any of that stuff. You wouldn't know what content to do or how to do it or how to do it in a way that ranks well on Google. You wouldn't have a clue unless you learn how to do it for yourself. And to be fair, the person that I'm talking about right now, they are actively doing this all themselves. Okay. They're not trying to have somebody else do it. They're not trying to sit back and have it done for them. They are taking the steps necessary to learn how to do it. It's just a lot of work and it takes time, but you got to start now. I can't stress this enough, guys. Look, as of this week, okay, so this came out on Thursday, the 23rd of August. As of the 22nd, as of August 22nd, 2018, we will have been in the longest bull run in history, the longest lasting bull market in history now. So every day that goes by is borrowed time, if you will. It's just a matter of time before the real estate market shifts. Whether it crashes or just corrects or softens, I don't know, but it's definitely not going to stay this way forever. That is a fact, and you know it is. So really start getting rid of these bad habits. Start learning, start experimenting. And here's what's cool. You just take the first step in learning something, and then that once you learn, now you know a little bit more. And then you learn about the possibilities. And that might lead to an even better idea or a way to pivot over to the right and do this thing that you didn't even know was a possibility, but now you are. And it brings up new business opportunities and new ways of doing things. I promise you, if you just take the first step and try to learn it yourself and get a handle on it yourself, you're going to crush it. But you just have to do it long enough. Okay, thanks for sitting through my little, my massive rant, if you will. Okay, guys, speaking of rants, I do an Alexa flash briefing every day. So every once in a while, I'll do a little rant, a little 60 to 90 second rant on my Massive Agent Minute Alexa flash briefing. So if you have an Alexa device, if you have an Echo or an Echo Dot or an Echo Show or an Echo, what are the other ones? I don't know. Or if you have Alexa in your car, like I know BMW and Ford does, you can subscribe to our Massive Agent Minute flash briefing. You could even do this on Amazon desktop, on your laptop. So every day, 7 days a week, I provide a tip, an idea, a strategy, insight, a little rant, a story, a joke, whatever, every day. Massive Agent Minute is what it's called. Go enable that flash briefing on your Alexa device as soon as possible, please. And before I sign off for the day, I know this has been a little, definitely a shorter episode today, and I apologize, or you're welcome. It just depends on your perspective on that. But I will mention, because this week was a big week for me and eXp Realty, we definitely had a few big players actually fill out their applications to switch over and join us, which is super exciting. There's something big going on here, and I'm glad that I joined when I did. I wish I would have done it earlier, but what can you do? If you want to know what all the hubbub is about, if you want to know just what the heck is all this buzz about eXp Realty, you don't need to talk to me. I'm not going to try to get you on a phone call, but I at least want you to watch a short 20-minute video that shows what we're all about and why, visually, why so many big teams and why so many top producers are moving over to eXp Realty. Just go to massiveagentpodcast.com/exp. massiveagentpodcast.com/exp. If you have any questions, hit me up afterwards, send me an Instagram message, Facebook message, or click the button there on that webpage, massiveagentpodcast.com/exp. But just click play on the video. That's it. Some of you are going to like it. Some of you aren't. It's all good. But ultimately, you don't want to be the person who puts your head in the sand and says, I'm not open to anything else, because that's dumb. Learn what's going on, and whether it's for you or not, that's up to you, okay? But at least you'll know what's going on. Okay, guys, thank you so much for listening. Episode number 35 of the Massive Agent Podcast is in the books. I am wrapping it up. And just a quick reminder, if you would, head on over to Apple Podcasts, aka iTunes, and leave us a review. Look, guys, this is a free show, okay? I don't charge you to listen to the podcast. This is totally free. I do this out of the goodness of my heart. Really, I'm a sweet guy, okay? So I do this for you. But what I do ask for in return, if you've gotten value from this podcast at all, help us by spreading the word. Share it with a friend, and go over to iTunes and leave us a rating or a review. Those help us out so much you have no idea. And a rating takes like 5 seconds. You just click the number of stars, boom, submit the rating. That's it. For those who have already done it, thank you so much. And for those who are about to after listening to this, thank you so much. Guys, go out there and sell some homes. Have an amazing weekend. Take care.